Imagine living in complete silence, surrounded by darkness and isolation, with no way to call for help. Now, picture a masked killer just outside your door, watching you, knowing you can't hear him. That's the terrifying premise of Hush, a film that challenges the boundaries of horror and survival. Today, we're diving deep into the story, tension, and strength of Maddie Young in Hush. Get ready for a scene-by-scene recap of this intense thriller. Let's start by getting to know Maddie Young, portrayed by Kate Siegel. Maddie is a talented writer who lost her hearing and voice at 13 due to bacterial meningitis. Now deaf and mute, Maddie lives in a remote house in the woods. She communicates with friends and family through American Sign Language and video calls, living a solitary life centered around her writing. Maddie's working on her latest novel, a thriller with multiple endings, but she's struggling with writer's block. Despite the isolation, she finds solace in her creativity and routine. The woods are her sanctuary, until one night, they become her prison. The evening begins like any other. Maddie's neighbor and friend, Sarah, stops by to return a book, and the two share a friendly chat. Sarah leaves, the sun sets, and Maddie settles in for a quiet night. But just when we think all is peaceful, the horror begins. As Maddie unwinds inside, Sarah is brutally attacked right outside her door. The killer, a masked man, stabs her repeatedly. It's a shocking moment. Sarah screams, her desperate attempts to flee, but Maddie remains completely oblivious, blissfully unaware of the horror unfolding just outside. It's then that the killer realizes something strange. Maddie can't hear him. He watches her from a distance, studying her movements. This is when the cat and mouse game truly begins. The killer is no ordinary intruder, he's sadistic and cunning, and he's thrilled by the challenge Maddie's deafness presents. The killer begins to test her, knocking on windows, tapping doors, all to confirm her inability to hear. The suspense builds as we watch him move around the house, hidden in shadows, right behind her without her ever knowing. But then, in a twist of fate, Maddie senses something off. She feels vibrations and catches a glimpse of movement. It's here that she finally realizes, she's not alone. For Maddie, this isn't just a break-in. She's now trapped in a silent nightmare, stalked by someone who knows she's vulnerable. Her fight for survival begins. Maddie's fear quickly turns to strategy. She knows she has to act fast and intelligently if she wants to survive. First, she tries a non-confrontational approach, typing a message on her laptop and flashing it to him through the window. She writes, "I haven't seen your face, so please just leave." But the killer isn't here to escape. In a chilling move, he steps into the light, removes his mask, and stares her down, making it clear that he's in control and has no intention of sparing her. With her options dwindling, Maddie's instincts take over. She attempts to set off her car alarm, hoping the noise might attract attention, but it doesn't deter him for long. She barricades herself in, grabbing anything she can to protect herself. But her assailant is determined and methodical, working to break through every defense she sets up. Each time she finds a possible escape route, he finds a way to close it, creating an excruciating tension between hope and dread. Then Maddie spots a glimmer of hope, a crossbow left on her porch. Summoning every ounce of courage, she makes a risky move to retrieve it, narrowly evading him. However, using it proves more challenging than she expected. She's never fired a weapon like this before, and the killer mocks her, knowing she's at a disadvantage. Despite her lack of experience, Maddie's determination shines. She manages to get a shot off, injuring him slightly, but the battle is far from over. As the struggle continues, Maddie begins to understand the grim reality of her situation. In one of the movie's most powerful moments, she writes a final message on the glass door in her own blood, "Do it," challenging him directly. It's a stunning act of defiance, a message that she's prepared to fight to the bitter end. This shift in Maddie's mindset, from prey to a relentless survivor, sets the stage for the final, brutal showdown. What follows is a brutal, heart-pounding fight as Maddie uses every sense she has to turn the tables on her attacker. With her sense of touch and sight heightened, she finds ways to detect his movements, using the few seconds of warning she gets from vibrations and shadows. After a desperate struggle, Maddie manages to wound him and finally kills him, using her environment, her resilience, and her quick thinking to survive. It's a hard-fought victory that leaves her bruised, bloodied, and traumatized, but alive. As the police arrive, Maddie sits alone on her porch, watching the dawn break. This silent, blood-soaked night is over, but it has transformed her. In Hush, Maddie's journey is a testament to the human will to survive, even when every odd is stacked against you. In the end, Hush isn't just about horror, it's about courage, resilience, and refusing to surrender. The silent tension, the relentless determination, and the primal need to survive all make Hush a must-watch thriller that will leave you holding your breath.